tribe is always searching for a way to survive. There is always some dire tribulation with which we must contend. We are always starving, or overheated, or freezing, or caked with filth, or very ill. Such is the way of everyday life now. I am grateful that my tribe has not abandoned me, despite being a burden in my late years. I am the last known person with living memory of the old world. My people see me as the last of the royalty, the old king they call me. Being a tremendous oddity in this age gives me some value, I suppose. You see, we are a nomadic tribe, covering thousands of miles. So when we cross some wondrous massive ruins of the old world, the young ones ask me what they're called, because I am the only one left who knows. So I tell them those places were once called Los Angeles, Chicago, New York. It is sometimes difficult for me to convince them that such places were constructed by mere human beings and not by the gods themselves. I constantly contemplate the old world, for as the old king I am often questioned about it, but I wish I didn't have to think about it so much. It is depressing to know what we had and lost. What's more depressing than losing it, I think, is that we didn't appreciate it while we had it. People don't even understand that life is difficult now because this world is all they've ever known. In that same way, people of the old world didn't understand that their lives were easy. Only those who have lived in both worlds can truly comprehend. There's a sweet little girl who sometimes manages to catch a cockroach for me to help keep my hunger pains at bay. But long ago, a cockroach would have brought alarm. In the old world, I could have had a hot pizza rushed to me on demand, or I could have gone to the grocery store and bought enough provisions to last for months, stored in my refrigerator to be eaten at my convenience. My tribe cannot fathom such ease, so how could I explain to a little girl who eats cockroaches the meaning of an obesity epidemic? A pregnant woman walked along my side for 2 days, her feet wrapped in tatters, but she thought nothing of it. Long ago, she would have used a car to drive the same distance in under an hour while listening to music and drinking a latte. I tried to explain road rage to her, but she couldn't understand it. How could she? She had never moved faster than her legs could carry her, so how could she comprehend being enraged over losing a few seconds during a commute? We always watch for places where we can wash ourselves. When we do find some such oasis, the water turns black with the grime from our bodies. If I manage to get enough filth off, I can feel the air on my skin again. That is the new luxury. My tribe knows no other way. How can I make them understand that people once took hot showers every day with soaps that smelled like fields of flowers? The new world is fraught with danger, so much different than the old. Long ago, it was very safe as we demanded it to be. It was so safe that we invented imitations of danger to safely explore, called video games. Such virtual worlds provided many of us with the things our lives often lacked: excitement, exploration, triumph, the feeling of being special or needed, all from within the total safety of our comfortable, climate-controlled homes. And when we left those havens called home and went into the wider haven called the world. We took our entertainment with us. Brilliant devices kept us perpetually connected to our music and videos and movies on demand wherever we went. Most of us had no idea how such devices worked, but we relied on them nonetheless. Whenever I'm asked about the old world, which is unfortunately often, people inevitably express how wonderful and happy everyone must have been back then. They have difficulty believing me when I tell them that we weren't happy. People of the old world were always dissatisfied, always striving for more, always wanting more, always complaining, always unhappy with what was happening around them, no matter how unique and brilliant their lives were amidst the long dark of human history. People of the old world never knew when they were satiated. But how could that be? My tribe always asks. It seems like the people of the old world lived like royalty. And it is true that even the poorest of us lived better than this old king. It's how they understood life to be. I tell my tribe that just as you can become acclimated to the bad, so too can you become acclimated to the good, so that you can no longer even recognize it for what it is, let alone appreciate it. But how could people with so few problems be so very angry and unhappy? Maybe part of it was that our problems were so trivial, our goals so centered on having more of everything, that jealousy precipitated obsession with the special privileges we thought each other had. Blind were we to our own advantages, while keenly aware of everyone else's, and quick to rebuke them. Our sense of entitlement demanded that the world cater to us. And rather than achieve parity by building each other up, we were taught to attain it by tearing each other down. We were so envious, so narcissistic, the beneficiaries, the selfies, obsessed with seeing ourselves in everything. The world was our mirror. Rarely could we even take a picture of a beautiful place anymore unless we were standing in front of it. We turned the cameras from the world to ourselves, something else to upload to our many social media soapboxes. Each of us turned into a politician with insincere words carefully crafted, measured and shared to appeal to as many like-minded people as possible, each of us risking excommunication from our chosen groups who tolerated nothing less than total acceptance or be faced with total rejection, agree with love or disagree with hate, platitudes or condemnation. Those were our two options. You weren't an extremist as long as you were the right kind of extremist. Though there were no tribes like there are today, the old world had much more tribalism. Rather than happily sharing our differences, we turned our differences into exclusive clubs and became preoccupied with your type, concerned with your labels, regardless of whether those labels were proudly claimed or imposed with shame. Some of us valued unfettered personal freedom, while others valued strident authoritarian conformity. But by far the worst of us were those hypocrites who demanded freedom for themselves, but conformity for others. I watched the erosion of the grey throughout the culture wars. Everything was alarmist. United we stand, divided we fall. I remember hearing that when I was very young. Yet each news story back then was designed to stigmatize, designed to divide rather than unite. So I wondered if we wanted to fall. Why would we want that unless we didn't know what falling entailed? Did we not realize how high we had climbed? No, I don't think we did realize. Crime, murder, sexual assault, it had all declined dramatically, yet we were led to believe that we were in constant danger, that rape was inevitable. Even our wars were tiny compared to what they once were, and the diseases that threatened our existence were conquered by science people didn't believe in because they didn't understand it, even as it saved their very lives. Our media focused mainly on the bad because that is what people flocked to see, so the world was made to seem bad. What did we expect would happen when female was pitted against male, black against white, gay against straight, religious against religious against secular? Such ages-old conflicts were far worse throughout history, but we were made to believe that even after our great strides toward progress, that injustice was more rampant than ever. Fear was a powerful tool in the desperate rat race to remain relevant. The world was getting better, but our fears were getting worse. That was our paradoxical existence, for an animal is dangerous when it is afraid. So alas, our fears became a self-fulfilling prophecy of self-hatred and eventually self-destruction, always pushing the pendulum further to the left and then further to the right, never letting it come to rest in the middle where we could find balance and harmony at last. We value each other now that we are rare, regardless of our demographics. I value everyone I see, knowing what was lost. People of the New World know nothing of the selfies besides what I tell them, because that was a digital world lost to the ether of a place without a power grid. Even the evidence of its existence is difficult to find now. It was a wonderful place, its wonder matched only by its misuse, and how taken for granted it was. My elucidations of the old world are always cautionary.